Right, guys, and we are live. Welcome back to another late night stream, fam. Late night football news stream. Like as I was saying yesterday, there were no Fabrizio Romano, no David Ornstein bombers. It was a bit of a stale day yesterday, right, regarding transfer news. But today we have gotten some absolute big bombers from the big two. Again, David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano. News regarding Hugo Ekitike advancing. Liverpool are advancing on a player like Hugo Ekitike, and of course Manchester United putting in a third bid for Brian Mbeumo. Guys, today I'm gonna lie, this live stream today is gonna be very what do you call it now? Analysis heavy, especially on the Ekitike side, because what he's gonna bring to Liverpool, it's a lot. It's a lot, bro. So Liverpool fans should be excited with that signing, and of course with Manchester United, the team that I support. This thing should happen like a long time ago, bro. It's taken us 7 weeks, right, to put a bid to put another bid in for Brian Mbeumo after that atrocious 55 million pound bid was rejected. The second bid was rejected by Brentford. So this time it has gone up to 70 million pounds. With so it's 65 million pounds. So that is the fee that Manchester United, of course, are offering Brentford, while we are putting 5 million on top for add-ons. So let's get started, right, with the Manchester United news, and then after I will speak about the Hugo Ekitike news, because once again that is very analysis heavy. It is stat heavy too, guys. So let's get started, right, with the Brian and Bremer news. I want to screen share. I want to screen share with you, man. The news that's come out today, the David Ornstein bomber that came out at 10 minutes past 2 this afternoon, right? And it states exclusive: Manchester United make improved bid to sign Brandon Mbeumo from Brentford. New offer for 26-year-old forward worth up to 65 million pounds fixed, right, with them £5 million of add-ons. Manchester United are waiting Brentford's response as they work to close deal for Cameroon international top target. By the way, Brentford at the same time, they are working for a deal with Omar Hutchinson, because their 30 million, I think it was euros, pound bid was rejected by Ipswich for a brilliant young player in Omar Hutchinson. If, of course, Arsenal fans and Chelsea fans will remember him, right? But this news regarding Brian Mbeumo for Manchester United finally putting a bid in when the second bid, once again the atrocious 55 million pound bid, was put through, right? Like it's taken them this long. The reason why, guys, reason why Man United fans, right? The reason why it's taken Ineos this long for them to actually put a bid in, where they did the third bid for Brian Mbeumo, is because of this. It is because of this. Newcastle exploring move to sign Johan Wissa from Brentford after cooling Hugo Ekitike interest, because Ekitike is, of course, advancing with Liverpool. So Newcastle had to forget about him, right, and go after another striker. This other striker that Newcastle are targeting is Johan Wissa, a Brentford striker, right? If Brentford would have let go of Johan Wissa before Brandon Mbeumo, you know that Brentford would be asking for a lot more money. They'll be asking for a lot more money than 65 million pounds, right? Plus 5 million add-ons. They'll be asking for at least 80 million. Or that is my prediction for this, because they would absolutely gotten shafted. A lot of Manchester United fans would have not been happy. Once again, protest would have happened just because of due to the incompetence of Ineos, bro. Ineos this summer transfer window have moved, and they will move with absolute disgrace, bro. Like the business that they've conducted 7 weeks just to put a third freaking bid in. 7 freaking weeks, bro. Incredible. What failure. For me, this summer transfer window, like it's failing, bro. It's absolutely failing. Thanks to Newcastle. Thank you to Newcastle, right? That Manchester United had to put a third bid in for Brandon Mbeumo, bro, because we would have been shafted in all this, because you've got Ekitike going to Liverpool. Newcastle would have been, that Newcastle would have finished this Wizard deal in a space of a day. You know it, bro. They would have offered the money that Brentford wanted, right? And he would have been going straight up to the northeast, bro. He would have gone straight up to the freaking northeast, fam. While United still sat here like this, just plotting around, fam, counting pennies, dude. So thank you, Newcastle, for actually giving the freaking motivation for Manchester United to put in a third bid for Bryan Mbeumo, right? So yeah, but with Newcastle, they've not agreed. With Newcastle, they've not agreed, of course, personal terms with Johan Wissa, fam. But that is the reason why Manchester United put that third bid in, guys. That is literally it. There's no other way. There's no there's no like, oh, we've come to finally deal. No, United panicked. Because they didn't want to pay this £65 million, right? Plus 5 million add-on fees. They did not want to pay this. They panicked and was like, you know what? If Whistle goes there, Brentford would for sure want more money for Bryan Mbeumo, fam. So thank you once again to Newcastle. I can't believe that I'm actually thanking Newcastle, right? But listen, right? Let's see what man that Flex is saying regarding this, because once again, I'm pretty sure Flex will say the same thing with me, because a lot of Man United fans are genuinely not happy. Where they're not happy with Ineos, bro. This has been a failure. Oh my brother. Oh, we're so prepared. We're so prepared, bro. We're idiots, bro. Absolute idiots. But we'll continue, fam.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to United View. Breaking news in the last half an hour, man. My phone's been going off. A third bid has gone in from Man United to Brentford for Bryan Mbeumo, and the bid consists of £65 million fixed fee up front and $5 million worth of add-ons. Man United are waiting for a response as they work to close the deal for the Cameroon international and top target, says David Ornstein. So Ornstein Bomber, third bid has gone in. The deadlock has been broken. Man United have blinked. Man United have played their hand. It's been taking ages to get this Mbeumo deal done, and it felt like we wasn't close. All we keep hearing is that the two clubs aren't far apart in valuation, but there had been no third bid. It was almost like we don't want to be bullied. We're not trying to be blackmailed by Brentford and just pay what they want. And in the end, guess what? We've ended up bidding what Brentford want, which this looks like a total package of £70 million. And more importantly,
they've ended up paying what Brentford want, dude. What was that all this thing waiting and trying to dilly-dally, fam? We can't, like, I know, guys, we've overpaid for players in the past. Maguire, Sancho, Anthony, right? We've overpaid for players, right, in the past. But we can't, like, dilly-dally and move around like we're still like the Manchester United of the mid-2000s. We can't do that anymore, man. We're not that Man United. Like, you can't bully these Premier League teams, dude. Like, these so-called smaller Premier League teams. Like, this is what Ineos were expecting to be doing. But you can't do that. Brentford said £65 million plus added on, right, in fees, accumulating to 70 million pounds, bro, euros. Man said euros. No, pounds, right? That's what they wanted. But, we can do this. 45 million, which is an absolute disgrace again. When you look at the difference in players that have gone for 50 odd million, 45 million compared to Mbeumo, like, for me, I think that £65 million for a Prem-proven player of Bryan Mbeumo's ilk is a good deal, like, in my opinion. 65 million for a guy who scored 20 plus Premier League goals and who got about what, 7 or 8 assists last season in the Prem. That's a fantastic deal. That is a fantastic deal, bro. But again, we're just gonna do that. No, pay that fucking money, bro. You know what, right? Once again, like, this is what happens when you take too long on stuff and you're not prepared. Like, Newcastle came in and was like, bro, like, we will sort out this Whistler deal straight away in a space of the day. Brentford, name what you want, we'll pay you. Name what you want, we'll pay you, dude. Right? And again, like, it's so frustrating thinking about this, because this should have been sorted time ago. And it's one of the thoughts that I had as well, right, guys? Like, I just thought with Man United is like they purposely drag out these freaking transfer sagas. If you look at with Sancho, where it took us about 2 years to sign Jadon Sancho, Frankie de Jong, where it took us the entire summer transfer. And I genuinely do think that they do this on purpose, where they purposely drag out, right, these freaking transfer windows so we can just bring about like 2 players back. So we're like, we tried our best. We tried. You see, we were trying all summer. We're trying. I guarantee you, this is the type of shit that they're fucking doing, bro. It's too much of a recurrence. It is too much of a recurrence, bro. One time, like maybe it's a mistake, but 4 fucking times, 4 times. Yeah, come on.
It's 65 million fixed. I say that up front. It's fixed as in that's not.
Plus, it's not a given. It is not a given, right? That Brentford might accept this. They might reject this. They genuinely might reject this. I was like, you know what? We've seen Elanga go to Newcastle for 55 million euros. We've seen Noni Madueke go to Arsenal for like 45 plus million euros, right? We've seen all this. I think we might want 85, for Brandon Mbeumo. I think honestly, they might do that. They genuinely might do that.
Not inclusive of add-ons. That's what must be paid. I'm actually going to look at this a little bit more if there's a little bit more context to it. Man United make improved offer for Bryan Mbeumo worth up to 70 million. The latest proposal is worth 65 million plus 5 million and is awaiting a response from the London club. The Athletic reported last month that Mbeumo had informed Brentford and Man United of his decision. We know that, blah, blah, blah. United saw an initial proposal of 45 million plus 10 in add-ons. That would have been a whole package of 55. Brentford said no. Then Man United went with a second bid. This is a timeline of our 55 million plus 7.5 in add-ons. That's just over, it's about 62-ish, 62.5-ish. Brentford said no. They're aiming to receive a figure exceeding the 62.5 million that United paid to Wolves for Mateus Cunha. And this package would take it to that because this is a 70 million pound package. And for me, guys, I mean, it's famous last words, but Jesus, surely now, man. Surely now this must just be a swift conclusion. Surely. Third bid's in. And you know what? I'll be honest. If Brentford say no now, I don't even want to swear this early in the video. F it off. Sack it off, man. If Brentford say no now, it's a taking the piss thing. It is. It's a taking the piss thing. If £70 million guaranteed package, 65 fixed is not enough to get Bryan Mbeumo out of Brentford, then we should actually be walking away. I'm being honest now. Like, I was close to it before, but I thought, listen, just commit the extra million, commit the extra 3 million. We've got money from Anthony Elanga. We're getting money from Alvaro Carreras. Like, it's a few £1 million. You're 6 weeks deep into the negotiations. Just get the player for Ruben now.
Yep.
And it looks like they've listened to that. And out of that deadlock, they've gone, right, we'll come with a third bid. This has to be third and final. I'm sorry.
It's because of Newcastle. It is because of Newcastle going in for Johan Wisserflex. That's what it is. It's because of Newcastle going in for Johan Wisser, because they know that if Johan Wisser, right, because they, bro, like, Ineos aren't stupid. They aren't stupid, bro. They know what's going on, like, in the summer transfer window, right? They know that if Wisser would have left straight away from Brentford to Newcastle, it would have been extra hard to have Mbeumo leave, bro. That's what would happen. That's why they put that bidding. That's why they put that bidding, guys. I'm not falling for this. Well, no. The reason why they had the money all the entire time. They had the money, bro. They like these guys still think that we are big bollocks Man United from the mid 2000s. Once again, we're not. We can't be strong arming and trying to bully against these small teams, bro, because they aren't privy to it, bro. They are not privy to it. They will not bend the knee, dude. They will not bend the knee.
We have to start playing. Showing Brentford that we're not there no more, and they get to keep Bryan Mbeumo if they say no to this. I don't think they'll say no to this. I don't see how they can, but the way it's been going, listen, you never know. You never know, but I'm not going to lie, man. This surely has to be enough. How much more do you want for Bryan Mbeumo, bro? Obviously, he's a fantastic player. I think this is a player that we need, and I want us to sign him. So I'm glad we've made this bid. I'm not saying we shouldn't have made this bid. There's some people saying you should have just walked away anyway. I'm glad we've made this bid. But after this, that's it. That's it, mate. Because if you're looking at Man United, have got £65 million to spend plus add-ons. That's a total package of 70 million. In world football, what could you be looking at for 70 million? That's fucking, sorry to swear, that's Rodrigo. Not that they'd want to come to us. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? That money can be best spent. You can go and get Johan Wisser for 25 million and still have loads of money left to go get a central midfielder, go get a keeper. Do you know what I'm saying? So yes, Bryan Mbeumo is a good signing. It's a signing that's taken too long to happen, and we still don't even know if this is going to get accepted.
Yeah.
My feeling is, I would like to think it will, I just don't see how much more that could be done. As I'm recording this, guys, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything from maybe I want to see if Romano's done it as per. What's he saying? Is there anything more? David Ornstein? No, it's always David Ornstein. Yeah, I'm just making sure. Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs has done a little add-on. Man United have made a third bid of 65 million plus 5 million add-ons to Brian Mbeumo, as David Ornstein called, same thing. Man United optimistic, despite suggestions, deal had stalled. United working to get Mbeumo by Tuesday so he can travel to the US. There you go. That bit's interesting. United are working to get Brian Mbeumo by Tuesday and added urgency today as clubs move for Johan Visser. Exactly, the trickle effect, the domino effect. What I was going to do later on, basically, is a flex if you're kind of talking about we need to get our skates on because, Johan Visser looks like he's going to be on his way to Newcastle United. Well, they're trying to get him. Yeah. And if that happens, then you're looking at Brentford going, well, we've sold Johan Visser for less money. Yeah. We get to keep our best player, which is Brian Mbeumo. Yeah. Depending on who you speak to, some people might think is Johan Visser. But then we get to keep Brian Mbeumo or make it even more difficult for Man United to get him. And I'm glad there's been a bit of urgency. It's about time there's been a bit of urgency to say, you know what? We don't want to F ourselves here. If we keep taking too long and don't just give an extra however much million that needs to be done for the add-ons, if we don't do that, Visser's going to go to Newcastle United and then who they're going to pay decent money for him. He's only got a year left on his contract. They could trigger a year extension that they have in the back pocket for Brian Mbeumo, or the price is just going to keep going up. So damn right, get that bid in there. There is optimism, but there was optimism last time, But the fact that it's an Ornstein bomber is significant. We know it's happened. It also says, Simon Stone has said, Brentford are yet to discuss the offer and have not communicated to Man United whether it will be accepted as well. So that's important to know as well. How much more are they going to hold out for? There is no answer as of now. It's more, like I said, big up to James. He's saying no more than a fair offer. This week was always to be pivotal with Mbeumo back in England, back in training and having conversations with Brentford. United will feel, hopefully, there's no moving target and this can be pushed through now. Yeah. And look, Romano has also reported United have increased their proposal to 70 million package. Same thing. Yeah. Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is more than fair now. If Brentford take too long, revoke the offer. Maybe they might have to play with...
let them get relegated, bro.
With an unhappy Brian Mbeumo because you stopped him getting a dream move from Man United. Make it their problem. Make them have to turn around 70 million. Like I said, their chairman says that they're happy. Their chairman says that they're happy to keep him. Obviously, he's a good player and there's a lot of change there. They've lost Thomas Frank, they've lost Flecken, they've lost Norgard. It looks like they're going to lose Visser and potentially that would make it 5 if you add in Brian Mbeumo. So it's a lot of change. They would rather keep him. But guess what? We've also shown that we can commit £65 million fixed. That is a lot of money. Yeah. Fair enough. If you can't get that, take that £65 million and go and get another player.
I agree.
Go and get Ollie Watkins. Go and get Mateta. Go and try and get Adam Morton. We need a striker. But you get what I'm saying. Like, take the £65 million, which we can clearly show the world that we've got now because we've just bid it.
If Brentford continue taking a fucking piss, just leave. Honestly, just leave, bro. Just leave, because what's going to happen, right, is like with Brentford, again, it's hard recruiting, replacing Thomas Frank, right, with, again, a competent manager who can get them just to even survive in the Premier League. Because once like their captains left, Flecken's left, who would have got? Well, it looks like Whistle will go to Newcastle, because I think Whistle's like 29 years old right now. He's trying to experience something. He's actually trying to play Champions League football, and Newcastle have got that on offer for him, right? Like, those guys have left. Like, there's only going to be Brian Mbeumo there and Kevin Schade and Damsgaard, right? Those man next season, they're in trouble. Like, I'm just calling it how it is. Like, Brentford next season are in deep shit. They are, dude. We just have to be honest with ourselves. Like, the amount of players that they've left and the manager leaving is looking peak for them. It is absolutely just looking peak for them, bro. I'll say just, bro, if they refuse this bid, walk away. Leave this man to get relegated, fam. Leave this man to get relegated, because Brentford have pissed me off this summer, bro. Brentford have absolutely pissed me off this summer. Like, don't get me wrong. The first bid, right, for £45 million is a slap in the face. It is disrespectful, but that secondary bid, for me, that should have been accepted. That should have been accepted, but right now they've got the price that they want. Let's see what happens. But guys, let's move on. Let us move on to the big piece that I did want to speak about today. To the piece that to the massive news, actually. To the massive news. Where is my ex report from Fabrizio Romano? Let me just drag it out for you guys. Here it is. So this was a Fabrizio Romano bomber that came through roughly around 8 a.m. this morning, and it says, understand, Liverpool are advancing today in club-to-club talks with Eintracht, bro, for Hugo Ekitike. right? And it says while Isak deal depends on final decision by Newcastle as they insist not for sale stance. Liverpool also progressing on both club and player side for Ekitike. As you guys know, with Liverpool, basically Liverpool had a gun to Newcastle, well, to Ekitike's head, saying Newcastle, if you guys don't want to sell Isak, we're gonna pull the trigger and sign Ekitike, and this is what's happening right now. Ekitike has basically said no to other clubs, and he's prioritizing Liverpool for that move, which I don't blame him, bro. I do not blame him. Like that Liverpool, this project is looking good. It's looking good. Like they are actually moving with their real ambition. Like the players that they've brought in, the players that they've sold, yeah, and the players that they are going to bring in too. But when you look at what's going on, apparently they want to sign Rodrigo for the left side too, because Luis Diaz, he's got links to Bayern Munich, he's got links to Barcelona, and he wants to leave Liverpool because he wants to experience something new. So for that side. For Liverpool, it's looking like they will bring in another left winger. And if Liverpool have got a front three of Ekitike, Mo Salah, and Rodrigo, it's exciting for them. But anyway, guys, so for the people that are uninitiated with Hugo Ekitike, he is right now plays number 11 for Eintracht Frankfurt. Striker, of course, was born the 20th of June, a June baby, bro, in the year 2000. It's about like what 6'1", 6'2". Represents France, and once again, he is a centre forward. And if you look at his stats, so that's his main position. He is a centre forward. And then when you look at his stats, let me go up to his friggin' stats. Where is it gone? I had it up a few seconds ago, bro. Current season stats. There you go. Current season stats. In overall, let me put the 24-25 season. So here we go. So here it is, guys. So in all competitions, right, he's played 48 games, scored 22 goals, and 12 assists. So that is what 34 goal involvements in 48 games as a striker, and he's got like 12 assists, guys, for a striker is an absolute madness. It's an absolute madness when you compare as well to what Mo Salah did last season, where he's got 15 plus goals and 15 plus assists just only in the league. That's going to of course help out with more goals for Liverpool. And of course, here are his stats. Shout out to Opta Stats, right, for this. So I want to look at his heat map and his touch map as well. So the heat map, it is, if it loads up, so there it is, guys. So primarily he likes actually playing between the 18-yard box and the halfway line. The guy is a physical beast, bro. Hugo Ekitike is an absolute physical freak. If you guys have not seen him play, please go check him out. He's a guy who's 6 foot odd, but is quick and he's got light feet. Basically, for me, like, yeah, people do liken him to as Zlatan Ibrahimovic, right? But to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, no, to Alexander Isak. But for me, it kind of like reminds me of like a speedy Zlatan Ibrahimovic, right? But aside from that, the whole shot power thing and the whole bicycle kick things, but like the similarities are there. Again, tall guy, light on the feet, quite quick, very agile, very agile for a big man, right? And if you look at like the types of goals that he scores as well, where the goal against Spurs in the Europa League, man can just get the ball right from like the left side, drive in, shoot from outside the box. Like, I don't know if Opta do any carries and shots. It's not position map. Yeah, it's not position map. It is not position map. It's not there. It is not there, right? But like the guy with Ekitike, whenever he's got the ball, right, he can drive at people, beat people. Basically like a ball carrier for a striker, shoot outside the box, left foot, right foot finishing, strong. Like he's like, for me, Ekitike is a complete striker. He's a complete striker, bro. The guy is absolutely dangerous. And yeah, like his first season for Eintracht Frankfurt has been absolutely brilliant, right? But when you look at what he was doing at Stade Reims, where he was killing it, right, and then that's what got his move for PSG. Like, it makes sense again to why for me, it makes sense to why he is actually that good. But for PSG, I think he only like featured once in league. I think he only featured once from what I'm remembering, guys, right? But like with PSG, of course, there was Kylian Mbappe playing. as well, so he couldn't really get sniffed. There was also Gonzalo Ramos, who was there too, so he was like the third striker. That's why he rarely featured for them. But just look at his body of work at Eintracht Frankfurt. Right, but I did compare him to other strikers as well, guys. So I did compare him to other strikers in the Premier League right now. So strikers that he's going to be competing against, of course, for the whole top goal scorer, Golden Boot title. So where is that 24-25 Bundesliga season for him? So I'm comparing between, of course, the guy who they compare him to, Alexander Isak, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Chris Wood, and Joao Pedro. I didn't want to compare him to Erling Haaland, because Erling Haaland is just a freak of nature. A freak of nature, bro. Like this guy, you know that he's getting goals, right? And he's like the best striker in the world. But that's why I've got these other strikers, because Joao Pedro right now is playing for Chelsea, but last season he was playing for Brighton in the Premier League. So here it is. So games, right? It is Jean-Philippe Mateta that's played the most games out of all of them, with Chris Wood having the best shot accuracy with 62% shots on target, right? For 33 games, Hugo Ekitike has got the most shots on target. And by the way, like, he takes a lot of shots outside the box. And I don't know if I didn't mention, right, like, like, with Ekitike, there's two sorts of way that he scores his goals: outside the box and inside the box. Like, inside the box, his first time finishing is ridiculous, bro. His first, like, I was actually like watching a few clips of him like a few weeks ago, and what I noticed, like, it's his first touch finishing, especially like when it's crossed in. If you look at like Mo Salah, to what he does, right? So Mo Salah sometimes he likes to cut in a shoot, or even like crossing the ball, and the person that's gonna feast on those crosses is definitely going to be Hugo Ekitike, especially with that first time finishing. Penalties taken, Joao Pedro, yeah, five penalties scored, and for me, like, for me, I would say Joao Pedro is top five best penalty takers in the Premier League. Of course, Alexander Isak with the most goals, while Chris Wood came in second place. The most penalty goals, once again, it is going to be Joao Pedro again. Five out of five penalties for Joao Pedro is absolutely ridiculous. Goals from inside the box, that is Alexander Isak with 3, and then goals from outside the box, that is Alexander Isak again with 3. Conversion rate, Chris Wood has got the better conversion rate with a 35%. With the assists, Hugo Ekitike has got the most assists for a striker. Once again, the link-up play that he has to what he can do is, even again, driving with the ball, releasing the ball, driving with the ball, shooting the ball, the tidy footwork, like his first touch as well, like it's so complete. He's so complete, bro. He is a freak of nature. He's a freak of nature. I think it was Pythagoras in Boots that said that Hugo Ekitike kind of reminds him, right, of Victor Wembanyama in the NBA. I think that's too much of a stretch, but I can't see what he's trying to say by the Victor Wembanyama of the NBA. Like he's a freak, bro. And Wembanyama is also French as well. Maybe saying that because it's French. Maybe saying that because it's French, right? Passing accuracy, Alexander Isak has got the better passing accuracy, while Hugo Ekitike has got the better long passing accuracy. Of course, Ekitike has got the most left completed, as you can see. That coincides with the assists. Duels contested, that's Jean-Philippe Mateta with 343. Again, like another physical beast. Take-ons completed, that is Hugo Ekitike with 52, and in second place it is Alexander Isak. Again, two tall guys who are light on their feet. Like, you can see what Liverpool are trying to do, right, by bringing in either Isak or Hugo Ekitike, because these guys, especially for link-up play, like, they are A1. They are A1, and it doesn't surprise me that, like, it's either Hugo Ekitike that's in first place for like dribbles completed, or it's either Alexander Isak. Interceptions, that says Joao Pedro with 9, and then touches in the opposition box. Once again, look how close that is, guys. Look how close that is. touches in the opposition box, right? Isak has got 211, while Hugo Ekitike has got 206 touches. Right, we'll move on, right, to of course to how Liverpool will look when Ekitike finally joins the team. So this is for me. This is my predicted Liverpool starting lineup. I don't know who they're playing against in the first game, right? But they are going to be featuring on Sky Sports for Friday Night Football. I think it might be against Brighton. I'm not too sure, but I think it might be against Brighton, right? At Anfield, and that is for me. That's going to be the starting lineup. That is going to be the starting lineup that I think that Arne Slot is going to play, and it's looking ridiculous, bro. It is looking absolutely scary because what Arne Slot as well. There is going to be a video, of course, from man like James Alcott, literally after this to explaining like Arne Slot's system for next season. So when you look at this team, this is looking peak for the Premier League, bro. This is absolutely looking peak. Alisson in there, Frimpong on the right back, two centre backs, Connor, Van Dijk, Kerkez at left back, the midfield three of Szoboszlai, McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch, Salah on the right, Florian Wirtz on the left, and Hugo Ekitike at strike. And people might say Florian Wirtz is a central attacking midfielder, Preston. And I'm like, if you look at his heat mapping, if you look at where he generally likes to play, he likes floating in from the left and then going in central. And then I think that it's going to be Milos Kerkez again, a guy, if you've seen him last season, where he likes bombing up front. He likes bombing up front into the space, overlapping for the left winger, so that's going to cover the left side for Liverpool. So guys, the final video, right, that we are going to be playing today is going to be from a man like James Alcott. Respect to my guy James Alcott, bro. I love this dude. I love this good dude. He does brilliant work, bro. That's my secondary channel, right? So here it is. I've subbed to the guy, bro. Like I can't believe I didn't sub to him on my secondary channel. So let's get up there, playback speed, and let's see how Slot is already one step ahead with new tactics. Let's get it on.
Under Arne Slot next season, and I'll be explaining why Frimpong and Kerkez will reinvent Slot's build-up tactics, why Mo Salah is in line for a brand new role, and the unexpected position that Florian Wirtz could play in. So how will these new signings change Liverpool? And what exactly are Slot's new tactics? So last season, Slot's formation was routinely 4-2-3-1 during build-up, and the goalkeeper would typically play short passes to his defenders. This season you've got Mamardashvili, who's going to be competing with Alisson Selly at some point, but I expect Alisson to still be the regular starter next season. But in the first phase of build-up, Trent's positioning is quite reserved, something that you'd often see from both fullbacks actually. And this was really interesting because it impacted Trent's chance creation last season, and it was his worst season for open play chances created since 2018-19. And that's probably because I think Arne Slot knew that he was very likely to be on his way out of the club. And so despite this, Trent still had a great impact, making excellent long-range passes from deep areas, often looking for the runs of Salah in doing so. What's weird here is his replacement, Jeremy Frimpong. He is not that.
Is completely like Jeremy Frimpong is a completely different player to what Trent Alexander-Arnold is.
Type of fullback. He likes to stay as high as possible. He hardly ever touches the ball in build-up. I mean, look at how this compares to Trent's heat map. But that's exactly the point. Slot gave us a glimpse of a potential new system when he adapted after Robertson's red card against Fulham earlier in the season. Slot moved Gravenberch deeper, alongside Van Dijk and Joe Gomez, essentially creating a back three with Robertson off the pitch. And so to understand what this means going forward, we now need to talk about the other fullback in the picture here, Milos Kerkez. Because when Liverpool bought Frimpong, most expected a more defensive left-back to counterbalance his extreme attacking approach, especially with the past that he's had with players like Gertrude. He's not played with two out-and-out fullbacks, but it would seem that is not the case.
Gertrude,
if he comes in, is another player that regularly bombs forward, as you can see from his heat map. So,
who did he score the goal against? I think it was against Newcastle, weren't it? At St. James's Park. If you guys remember when Milos Kerkez won the ball, and I think it was against Newcastle, guys, where he turned right, cutting on his left, and then shot. I think it was against Newcastle, bro. Like Milos Kerkez loves bombing forward. I think for Hungary sometimes he even plays like left wing because he wears number 11.
How is Slot going to find the balance in this team when Frimpong wants to be here and Kerkez wants to get forward into these positions? Well, I've got an idea. Because on paper, it sounds like it could be something like this. However, given what we know about Kerkez and Frimpong, they are likely going to want to have high starting positions due to their attacking nature. And even if Kerkez is a little bit more reserved, there's still an imbalance there. And I think this could be the possible solution.
For me, what I'm thinking as well, right, I think it might transition to like a 3-4-3 like mid-game, if you guys know what I mean, because at the start people might see it as a 4-3-3, right, with like the midfield three of Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Ryan Gravenberch. But Ryan Gravenberch is the guy that's going to come back and to form a back three with Virgil van Dijk and Konate, while Frimpong and Kerkers will bomb up to make like the six up front. So it's going to be McAllister, it's going to be Florian Wirtz, Salah, Ekitike, Kerkers, and Frimpong.
I'll tell you exactly why that is a little bit later on. Now,
Why do I know so much about a rival team, bro? Why? But
by being used as an attacking midfielder in a 4-2-3-1, Slot's use of Dominik Szoboszlai, it has recently seen him dropping into deeper areas in build-up, and I think that's a bit of a clue. And when Szoboszlai receives the ball, you can see that a three-man defence was in fact formed. However, there are two key aspects here that will be different next season. Firstly, Robertson, one of the players forming the three, will likely become a second-choice left-back, it seems, next season with Kerkes' arrival. And whilst Kerkes could play in this role, it's just, it's not the best use of him, given how effective he is making powerful runs down the left and, of course, combining with
going
wingers.
forward.
And then, of course, you have Conor Bradley, who has inverted here, moving into midfield. And essentially, he's emulating Trent's instructions. However, just like Kerkes, this isn't going to be the best use of Frimpong moving forward, meaning that the slack will be picked up by the midfield. On paper, I think it will likely look something like this. In build-up, it's not impossible that it will look something actually like this. Kerkes will stay high, so will Frimpong. Szoboszlai dropping deep alongside McAllister. I think it could play a massive role in this. Gravenberch slotting between the two centre-backs for the first phase could be key too. In Slot's first season, Gravenberch was usually the receiver of the first pass.
I think that McAllister might be behind this freaking centre forward, you know. I genuinely do think that.
It's meaning that he was the person that Liverpool looked to when passing the ball from the defensive third into that middle third as they look to transition through, you've guessed it, the thirds. So how do they overcome this if Gravenberch slots between the two centre-backs? Well, remember those triangles that we showed you earlier? Well, they're still there. But the difference is, there's more of them now. Gravenberch slotting in allows for all of these players to be connected in the first phase of build-up. And this is a principle that Slot has even used before at Feyenoord. Slot used Gertrude to do this, an inverted right back. But obviously, you can't ask Frimpong to do this. It's a waste of his talents. It's a waste of his skills. So
why is nobody signed like Gertrude, bro? Why has nobody signed him, dude? That's crazy, because he's been linked to a lot of teams. He was linked with like Villa last season. I think they were trying to replace Matty Cash, but they've not signed him.
Picking up these positions and unlocking those triangles. And the goal of having Gertrude in this position, it was to drag opposition players into central areas when they were pressing. And so this is where more triangles come into play for Liverpool. After the first pass and build-up has been made, you then enter the second phase where you can expect to be pressed by the opposition. And most teams press in a 4-4-2 now. And so these triangles, they just outnumber them. It's the new meta. By having this three-man line of Virgil van Dijk, Gravenberch, and Konate, you outnumber the two forwards pressing for the opposition, meaning you always have an outball. And so that means that if Konate is now getting pressed by one of the two opposition forwards, he has the option of going back to Alisson, inside to Szoboszlai, or wide to Frimpong. So say he gives it to Szoboszlai and bypasses that opposition striker. It then becomes a question for the opposition of who presses Szoboszlai. Is it the winger, or does a centre midfielder then press him? And due to the pressing structures in the Premier League and teams being obsessed with protecting the middle, it'll likely be a winger that moves centrally to press Szoboszlai in this instance. And that's the genius of this, because it means that the winger is forced to leave Frimpong, and the ball can likely be passed to him in the exact sort of position that he was receiving it when being so devastating at Liverpool. So then what about the attack, I hear you ask? We know Salah likes to take up those wide spaces, so you're treading on his toes, right? And meanwhile, where is Florian Wirtz going to play? Many view Wirtz as an attacking midfielder, and they'd be correct.
He's out on the left, like as I said earlier. That's why my thing. I put him on the left side. Like people see like Florian Wirtz as a cam boy. No, he likes being out on the left side and then floating through the middle.
He isn't tied to this one position. He's excellent at drifting inside from the left, and it's not uncommon to see him in these wide areas. And whilst he's there, he's pulling off ridiculous pieces.
Hence why I put my man on the left side, dude. Hence why, bro.
Skill like this. Close those legs. Naughty, naughty. What I will say is his natural instinct isn't to proceed into this space. It's to move inside and to work within those half spaces.
And then there's going to be the overlap now for Milos Kerkez coming in.
And that worked perfectly because Leverkusen had Alejandro Grimaldo holding the width on the left. And this assist that he provided to Jonas Hoffmann could hold some key indications as to how he intends to use Florian Wirtz, but also how he's going to use Mo Salah. And what this shows us is that Wirtz may not play as a 10 for Liverpool. I think he might play as a left winger. Firstly, we need to assume that Gravenberch will likely step back into the defensive midfield role after the first phase of build-up, allowing both
like these sorts of players, these left wingers, when you look at your Cole Palmers, right? Like Cole Palmer against PSG was playing on the right side, but he was not the one running past Nuno Mendes. That was actually Malo Gusto running past Nuno Mendes, because what Nuno Mendes was doing, like he was confused, like who should I mark? Should I mark Gusto? Should I mark Cole Palmer? If I'm marking Cole Palmer, that means I'm leaving space in behind. And I think this is a thing that's going to happen at a majority of the time with Liverpool. Like Florian Wirtz is going to confuse a lot of right backs, because a lot of right backs will be thinking to themselves like, if I mark Florian Wirtz and he likes to cut in, there's going to be space left in behind, and that's going to be I was gonna say Frimpong. That's gonna be Kirkes running into that space. I think it's gonna be the same thing for the right side, because Mo Salah, like Mo Salah can play in that little space there. Where's my mouse? He can generally drift into that little space there, bro. We've seen Mo Salah do this countless of times, even when he's even run across as well. We've seen him do this.
Alistair and Szoboszlai to split into slightly wider positions and keeping the width. And the final third will be, as we spoke about, Kirkes and Frimpong. And because they're keeping such width, it opens the door to wingers stepping inside. Step up first, Florian Wirtz. And then the second person stepping inside is Salah. Bit of alliteration there. Last season, Salah was often starting in those wider positions and then looking to move inside into those central areas, often getting to that point, that kind of corner point of the opposition's box where he would do his damage, be it a shot, a cross, a pass and go, whatever it might be. And so with Frimpong doing that role, it's feasible that Salah will likely alter his starting position and be more central. But let's stop it there, because there is a problem with this tactic that we haven't addressed yet. It's all well and good, Szoboszlai dropping deep to form those triangles, but with him dropping deep, you don't have that central figure to pass to in the next phase. And therefore, I believe that Slot will be looking to strengthen in this area as well, because he could look to bring in a profile that they...
In steps in Hugo Ekitike.
Don't really have, and they haven't had since Roberto Firmino, a striker that...
Fuck me, dude. We're like, fam, the thinking, we're like this, bro. We're like this, fam. I was like, the last centre forward, right, to come from like Germany to play striker for Liverpool was Roberto Firmino, and he wasn't a through and through striker. Of course, with Ekitike, he's gonna be a striker, right? But he's got the ability to pull off what Firmino was doing. Like the guy, again, like I said it multiple times during the stream. Like Ekitike's his footwork, guys. Watch him play. The guy is a freaking freak, bro. He's a freak, man. Somebody that tall, moving that fast, light feet, and like the dribbling, like he beats about 2 or 3 guys on these marauding runs before he shoots a freaking shot. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Drop into midfield and link the play. By having this profile, it forces one of the opposition midfielders to latch onto him, and it breaks up that midfield.
That's what I mean, bro. Oh my days, fam. I was literally sat, guys, I was writing notes at work about this. I was was like, Firmino used to do the same thing, but you had all the guys like running past him and shit like that.
Field pressing structure once again. That opens up the half spaces and gives the wingers the ability to receive progressive passes and play through that press.
Yeah, because the striker will be drawing the guys out. It's kind of similar to what PSG are doing. It's kind of similar with what PSG are doing right now, of course, with like Ousmane Dembele being the false 9, where he's dropping, and then you've got Kvaratskhelia, you've got freaking Desiree Doué running in behind, Hakimi running in behind, Nuno Mendes running in behind. That's why like Hakimi scoring a lot of goals, because he's technically a free man. You get what I mean? He's technically the spare guy whenever they are making runs past this so-called striker who is Ousmane Dembele.
This is such a unique profile for a striker. Forget Haaland and that type of target man forward. This requires a technical striker who is comfortable receiving the ball in tight areas. And so who will that be?
Fucking hell, bro. Nah, fam. Nah, dude. Guys, you know what, right? You know what? Like, something you can tell which team has done the preparation for the players that they need, especially in the summer transfer. You can tell which teams have done the preparation there. You can tell which teams have been watching which players, right? They genuinely want to sign before the summer window has even started, dude. Like with Liverpool talk, because like they said that Isak is the dream target for them. And you can see the similarities between Isak and Ekitike, bro.
I've got an idea. Who do you think it will be? Let me know in the comments.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
Tottenham
But
gonna look completely
I think that video came out like a month ago. But basically, the dream target was like Isak or Ekitike. But I want to go back and
Liverpool are
read
gonna look
the comments for this, because what a video this has been, bro. What a video this has been, mate. Richard says a great analysis. Someone listens to this, wherever. Final details regarding Shaw, I suppose. Diaz Central. No. No, 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 no. Man said Julian Alvarez. João Pedro would have been a good one as well. João Pedro would have been a good one too for Liverpool. João Pedro would have been a really good one, mate. Incredible analysis. Absolutely incredible analysis, bro. I agree with the guys. Mateo Retorgi will be a great fit. Nah. Retorgi is completely different from what Liverpool need and what James Alcott was explaining. Because like Retorgi is one of those strikers that likes to stay in the box and like and basically feed off crosses rather than him coming in short and then receiving the ball and then giving a given goal. I think he was top scorer in the in Serie A last season, right? Mateo Retorgi, but he's gone to Saudi Arabia now. He's gone to Saudi now. I forgot what team it was. I think it's either Al Ahly or Al Nassr. Is one of them ones, bro. It is one of them ones, mate. But I want to see the newest comments. Because they like the way that he described this striker is definitely Hugo Ekitike or Isak, mate. You get what I mean? But yeah, RIP Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota, bro. Such a shame, bro. Even like for me as a United fan, like it kind of hurt me, and seeing what my friends who support Liverpool were going through as well. My friend didn't show up to work, by the way, because that's how distraught he was. So yeah, man. But guys, that's it. That is genuinely it, man. That is genuinely it. I think I'm gonna cut this stream really short because it was very analysis heavy. If I've missed out, if you guys have if you guys want me to react to something, or if you guys basically want to send me a video, shoot it before I leave, because I've still got like an extra 30 minutes left. But I don't think so. So I'm just gonna peace out, guys. I will catch you a lot tomorrow. It's gonna be a track back stream, guys. Chill stream for tomorrow. I might, yeah, it's too late actually. It's too late. But yeah, thank you so much for the people that have tuned in. Thank you to Ed. He's been on about Victor Gyökeres for the last friggin'. Ed's been on about Victor Gyökeres for the last freaking week now, saying he's gonna have his medical tomorrow. So listen, if he's not got his medical, bro, one second.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
That's it, fam. That's it, bro. Ed, if again, bro.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
So yeah.